How's it going, everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your rear brakes and rear rotors on your Mini Cooper. This is an F56, so it should be identical, if not very similar, from 2014 to 2024. If you have the R56, if you have the R53, which are the previous Minis, if you have the Countryman, the Paceman, this should be very similar. Some of the parts will be slightly different. With that, let me show you everything that's needed. I'm going to show you step by step. As always, this is all linked down below. If you have any questions, I always comment back. I try to help as best I can. I include all the specs to the best of my ability. A lug nut, lug bolt remover. Again, these have lug bolts. We're going to have a piston compression tool. Highly recommend this for the rear brakes. It makes it very easy. That's the part right there specifically, which I'll show you. I have my tool set. We're not going to need too many. On the rear brake pad caliper bracket, we're going to need an E16, and then we need an H6. I have a T40 here, which is good enough. I'll show you in the video. What I have here for the rear are drilled and slotted rotors. You don't need these. I push my Mini pretty good. I don't track it, but I'm in the canyons a lot. So I'm going to link these down below. And keep in mind, these are for the Mini Cooper S. Depending if you have the base Mini or the JCW, the GP, your rotor size may vary. So keep that in mind. I'll try to put the specs for different models, but again, for the Mini here, this is the correct size for the Mini Cooper S. And then of course, this is an F56 2015 Mini. You're gonna need a brake pad sensor, which I have here. This one's ripped. And the brake pad sensor is located on the right side of the car. I'm doing the left side, but I'll kind of show you where it's located. Pretty easy to replace. Highly recommend that you replace this every time you do the brakes. Don't try to save this because the sensor helps you know when your pads are due. And sometimes if it's corroded or falls apart, you might get a false warning and you might have to do the job twice, so it's inconvenient. We have some brake parts cleaner here. This is mainly for these rotors. These rotors come with a protective film on them so they don't rust before you install them. So you're going to spray down your rotors with this. The pads that I used are the ceramic brake pads here from Brembo. Not the best, not the worst. These in specific are for the front of the Mini, but I have them installed on the rear already, so I'll show you what it looks like. We have some towels, we have some gloves. Highly recommend gloves. Your hands are going to get extremely filthy. I have to record, so I need my fingers to touch my screen and stuff, but highly recommend gloves. You have a brush here to remove some brake dust and all of that. This is my homemade breaker bar. Highly recommend this. It is kind of a galvanized pipe there. You can get this for $7, $8 at a local hardware store. And for the rear, I'm using a 3/8 inch ratchet. I didn't need to use a 1/2 inch ratchet. I have a 13mm socket here. Highly recommend these. These are what are called wheel hangers. So your lugs on these Minis are bolts. So when you remove all 5 of these lugs, your wheel is going to fall down. Same thing with your rotor, it's going to fall down. So it rests on this, makes your life extremely easier. We have nickel anti-seize. This is so the rotors or your wheels don't rust onto the car, and this makes it a lot easier to remove in the future. We have a 17mm wrench here. I have a measuring tape. Reason why, we want to make sure that the diameter of these rotors are the same as the ones that are coming off so that you don't put the wrong ones, which I have done. So you want to make sure that you measure so that you know you're putting the right one on. And of course, here is the E16 socket. It kind of has this star pattern. The T40, I don't have an H6, but this T40 works. I'll show you in the video. Optional, this is my impact gun to remove the lugs much faster, and then a 17mm non-marring socket. The 17mm is the size of those bolts there. You want to have something that catches dust. Something like this cardboard is fine. And then when you spray the brake cleaner, it catches all of the brake dust. And then optional is a bungee here. You don't want your piston and caliper to hang just because it could damage the brake line, but the way it hangs in the rear, it gets supported. So optional but not needed is a bungee here. We're going to use a floor jack here. I have 2 wheel chocks on the front tire. When you're raising from the rear, you can't have the parking brake engaged because you need to remove the calipers and stuff. So just know that you want wheel chocks so your car is stable. And then I'm using a floor jack. After I take this tire off, I slide it under the car for extra protection. I do recommend jack stands, but the way these Minis are, it only has a small supportive area here, a small supportive area here, and the rest is kind of compromised. And then I have a rear diffuser on mine here So you can jack the Mini from the back center. There are 2 bolts under the car where you can put a piece of wood and jack from there, but my Mini's too low because of this diffuser, but let me show you where it is. So maybe almost 2 feet under the car, you're gonna see this bolt and that bolt, and you can put a piece of 2x4 that runs across and jack from there. So you want the pressure to be on those 2 bolts. Diffuser here, which makes it pretty hard to get the jack all the way in there, but you can do it. Another way to ensure you get clearance is you can reverse onto some ramps, and then you have enough angle to lift. This is how the wheel hanger becomes super helpful. I like to center it here on the top. You're gonna see the tire is gonna fall in a bit, and it's gonna rest on this. So these Minis have lug bolts instead of lug nuts. And when you remove all of them, your wheel is gonna fall. But because of this, it rests here. It makes it so much easier to remove the wheel and put it back on. So now we could remove the wheel. Now's a good time to inspect your tire for any uneven wear, for any punctures, nails, things like that. All right, so what I do now, I put the rim under the vehicle like that. So just in case this floor jack gives out, the wheel will catch some of that weight. But again, this is why jack stands are the best option usually, but the way these Minis do it, it's kind of hard to have both the floor jack and the jack stand. So this is a decent way to do it. And then these are the spacers that I have. You can just wiggle these off, 15mm. And now is a good time to look, see if you have any damage, any fluids that are kind of seeping out. Everything looks normal here. Everything looks dry. But again, a good time to inspect. All right, the first thing we want to do is remove this caliper here. And you're going to have 2 13mm bolts right here where my fingers are. Your 17mm goes on right here, and then you're going to lefty-loosey this 13mm there. And these 13mm should not be on that tight. All right, that 13mm has been removed. You can see how it naturally rests right there. So there's not much pressure on the brake line. Here's a look at your pads. You can replace these just by popping these out. Here is where the sensor would go if it was on the other side. This is the left side, so the sensor just kind of slides in there. And then it runs under the nipple, and then you pretty much follow this cable, and it would clip up here. Obviously on the other side, this is the left side of the vehicle, but you just kind of follow, and it clips into, it has little slots where it would clip in. You're gonna have an E16 right there, and you're gonna have an E16 right here. So what I have here is my homemade breaker bar. You're gonna slide this in like that. And a pro tip, take your ratchet to the hardware store first so you can assure that it fits in here like that. And what's nice is this is adjustable, right? The more torque you need, you can slide it down more. I was able to move this kind of piston up above and naturally rest here between the brake shield, so out of the way. Use the breaker bar or homemade breaker bar for a bit. If you have air socket or electric ratchets, it might make this easier, but it's a very interesting space you're working with here, so just have some patience. But you're gonna loosen this and eventually your caliper bracket here will come off. All right, I removed the bottom E16. Here is the top one. There's one kind of thicker washer looking here. Now our bracket is free. It's kind of resting between that piston there, but this is free. It comes out. You can see both of the brake pads are on there. These are the Brembos I replaced maybe a month or two ago. It's pretty dusty, but still plenty of life. I think it's a Hex 6. Again, I don't have one of those, but I do have this T40 that's sitting around. Not recommended. This isn't torqued down a lot. The reason this is here is so that this rotor doesn't fall on you when you remove it. And then just be mindful, this will move around because it's free floating in the back here. Hold this, and that's the nice part with this, is you can kind of hold this and then torque. You're gonna see it's just a little short bolt there. And again, this holds the rotor on so it doesn't fall on your feet. And then the rotor may be a little jammed on there, so just. All right, you can see it was on there a little snug, nothing too bad, but some dirt, some debris. face mask or eye protection, always recommended. Up to you to do that. Right, taking a look here at the replacement rotors. Again, these are drilled and slotted, not needed. Again, I want the sportier look on my Mini. The standard rotors are perfectly fine. I'm going to link those down below as well, so you have options. And then you could apply anti-seize here or on the mating surface itself, up to you where you want to put that anti-seize so it doesn't stick on there like you saw. And then the next thing we want to do is measure the diameter and then measure this opening here, because the Countryman and the Paceman have a larger diameter here. And then the thing with the F56, you have 5 bolts, right? The previous older Minis have 4, so just make sure that you have 5 and then that 6th one to tighten that H6. All right, looking here, this is an F56 Cooper S, and we are at about 10¼ inches, so 10.25 give or take. I'll give you the exact inches and millimeters, but you want to make sure that this is the right size for your Mini. When I look at the previous rotor, it's about 10¼ inches as well, so we know this is the right replacement. Just about 2½ inches and just about 2½ inches, so these are the right rotors here. We want to apply anti-seize around here or in here, whatever you prefer. If you're in somewhere super salty, then you want more, like half a pea. You can see there, half a pea size. We're just adding back everything we took off now. We're gonna re-add the rotor. And this is where the wheel hanger becomes super, super handy. You can kind of just guide it here, and you see how it wants to fall off. So that's why we have that bolt here, and that's why we have this wheel hanger, so it makes our life a lot easier. You don't need to over torque this, just nice and snug. I already replaced my rear brake pads, but you just simply slide them on. And then just pay attention, these 2 closer dimples go on the outside. And then on the inside, you're gonna see these dimples are wider. They go on the inside of the car like that. And then looking at the shape here, this faces towards the rotor, and then this faces towards the back of the car. And then you can just slide it over. And then this is where your E16 bolts go. Your 13 millimeters go here. So the pads that I'm using are the ceramic brake pads from Brembo, the Prime ceramic brake pads. These are for the front. I'll link the rear ones that I used. And then of course these front ones I'll link as well in my other video. Nice pads. They do come wrapped in this with a very thick rubber band. They're gonna give you lubricant. And then you get a bag of 4 of these 13 millimeter bolts with thread lock that they will include new bolts and you can replace. And then they include the mounting hardware as well, which I already have on the bracket. I'm gonna start by hand tightening this E16 and the bracket on. You just kind of slide it over there like that, wiggle it on a little. Unfortunately, the E16s, you can't hand tighten much. They get pretty tight pretty quick, and then you have to use your ratchet to tighten up the rest, but at least it's supported here. I'm gonna add the bottom E16 by hand as well, and then we're gonna tighten it with your ratchet and then torque it down with, of course, righty-tighty. All right, I have both of the E16s tightened, which means the bracket is now secure. And again, if you were attaching the sensor on the other side, you just clip it in here. And then from the top here, you can see that E16 and then the other E16 right there in the bottom. Now I'm going to compress this piston here so we can slide it over the brake pads. Here's the specific adapter we have. You're going to see it slides in like that. And then this lets us twist it. And then these 13 mils that I have here, again, they're pretty new. They came with the hardware for these Brembos. I'm going to slide it over, and then I'm going to align the top one here just so it holds things in place. All right, we have our rotor attached. We reattached our bracket. Our brake pads are in. Everything is good to go. Let me just show you what it would look like if you have the brake sensor. This, I ripped it off on the other one, but this would slide in here, and then you're going to slide it in on the innermost pad. There's an opening, you just push it, it'll slide in nice and secure. This part would run here, and where the nipple is, you could pull this little nipple cover off, and it goes over. You're going to see this nipple cover would go over, and then it holds this secure. And then this piece has this kind of slot here. You would push this in. There's on the other side, there's a little spot. You could push this in after you pull the other one out, of course. That holds secure, and then your sensor is going to run up, and then there's a clip to attach it. You could just follow The old one, you could just follow this. It's super easy to replace. All right, I got both pads and rotors replaced. Feel free to watch my front rotors and pads video on this Mini as well, 2 separate videos. I made a video for my front brake pads just before this one. I'm doing it on the rear, but the alert is essentially the same. I already reset the rear brake pad alert maybe 2 months ago, but I'm gonna show you just for the sake of all the steps, they are the same. I just did the front, so I could still do this, but I'm gonna show you in the rear video, which is this one, so you can also see the steps. So you can go to menu, vehicle info, vehicle status. You're gonna see there service required. The alert went away because I just reset it. I wasn't recording, but let me still show you the steps. So it would show you that alert up here with the orange triangle that says pads due soon, please see service center, 1,300 miles is what mine was. But you're gonna press and hold this. And again, what we want here is you don't want the car to be on. So your foot will be off this. You just press the power once and you're gonna see here, right? That's for the oil. That's for your standard service, which is a thorough inspection. That is for your fluid. That's for your brake fluid. So again, for the oil here, what you would do is just, it says reset possible. You're just gonna press and hold this until it says, are you sure you want to reset it or something? You're gonna lift your finger, press again, and it says reset. Lift your finger, press again. Just hold, and then it'll say reset successful. So again, very easy. You just hold until it shows, lift, press until it shows, and then it'll reset. Sorry that I just completed this step, but my camera wasn't recording. But again, it's pretty straightforward. Just hold down until it tells you something, lift quickly, press down again and hold. Make sure you're selecting the right one and just press down and hold and it'll reset it. With that, hope this was helpful. Everything is going to be linked down below for your convenience. Again, all the parts that are needed, you shouldn't really struggle too much. If this is your first time doing it, expect to spend about 2 hours or so. I was recording. If you've done this before, you can probably knock them out in an hour, 20 minutes. It's a pretty toasty day here, so I'm a little sweaty, but you can do this pretty quickly, especially with power tools. With that said, feel free to comment down below. I always respond. A like and subscribe is always appreciated. It helps my small channel continue to grow. With that said, have a great day. Have a great evening. Striker out.